Shohei Ohtani's translator. Let's see. Impepe.
Ipe. We agreed though. We were just going to call him Ipe the translator.
I don't even care. The translator pleads guilty to multiple charges for bank fraud and subscribing to false tax returns. He could face 30 years in prison, but will most likely face about 7 to 9 years. Now, more information is coming out about this whole case with federal agents. They were all investigating into this, and it has now come out that the translator impersonated Shohei Ohtani on the phone with the bank more than 24 times to wire money from Ohtani's account to pay for his gambling debts. I have 2 questions, and they're the same questions that I asked before. But if you're Shohei Ohtani, how do you not know $16 million is missing from your bank account? Because you have to have FU money to not even glimpse.
Yeah. I think it's the only logical explanation. Like, we've talked about it. Like, how do you not know that much is missing? Well, when you have so much, it's the only explanation for it.
Yeah, I mean, look. Originally, I took the hot take that he knew. Now I'm just taking the hot take that this dude's a dumbass. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you can't even argue that.
Yeah, like, dude, you're just dumb. It's bad. It's bad. It's not on Ohtani. There's a clear reason why he wasn't suspended. Obviously, this dude had no idea. And you're right. When you're making that kind of bread, I don't think I'm noticing if a couple crumbs go missing.
Crumbs.
That's what it is.
What's crazy to me is just that, like, that didn't even pay off his debt. Like, that's how much.
That's how bad this dude is at gambling. That's how bad
16 mil couldn't do it.
Like 16
mil. That's the part that blows my mind.
Like, it doesn't even get him out of the hole. Like, he can't even ask for another 250 to.
Dude, I wonder what some of his hits were though. Like, what crazy parlays he was betting out there that he actually hit on. Like those 20 grand parlays he's throwing down.
Well, he was betting on Japanese hockey leagues, wasn't he? That we found out. Wasn't
Japanese
that what it was?
hockey leagues. I don't even know if there is one.
I thought that's what we were talking about, that we found out. Like, it was like mostly like a Japanese hockey league or something crazy like that.
This is the type of gambler I think he is, right? Alabama played Michigan for the national title, right? I expect him to put 25,000 on Michigan, and then I expect him to put 25,000 on Alabama. So at the end of the night, he feels like a winner, but he still loses like 31,000.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. That's the gambler I envision if this dude's down so much money.
Now, what do you think was going through his head though? Like, did he actually think he was going to get away with this, or do you think at some point he's like, "Man, I'm in too deep. Like, just go for it.
Yeah,
maybe I could flee the country and like not have debt anymore." Like, is that what he was going for? I mean, geez.
Yeah, like what millionaire you're like, yeah, this dude's never going to find out. He really is a dumbass. Like 10 once you get to double digits?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I feel like if you're the guy doing it, you're sitting there and after 5 million, he hasn't noticed.
Right.
After 7.5, he hasn't noticed. After 10, he hasn't noticed. You're like,
still,
I'm good. I can do this.
He hit 15. He's like, oh, I'm literally good for my life.
You know, but I do think there reaches a point of desperation where you're trying to make it back. I have to give him the benefit of the doubt that his goal was to even up and then stop. That's pretty much how most gamblers kind of operate that are addicted to gambling is, well, let me just get this back to even and then I'll just stop. The problem with that is I've never met anyone that got back to even and just stopped. So anyone that got back to even was like, I'll just deposit 200 more. I'm good.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of crazy that the MLB still, in my opinion, has swept this under the rug. You know, yes, this article did come out about the whole case, but was it this big storyline like it was in the beginning? No. I don't see it all over ESPN, and I just think that that's crazy. It's the biggest player in the sport, and it's just swept under the rug by Rob Manfred. I'm not saying Ohtani's guilty or he should be suspended or anything. I'm not saying that. I just find it fascinating that it's not a huge story anymore.
No, I'm not surprised.
I think once he officially goes to prison, it will be a story. It'll be the conclusion of it all.
I agree.